Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from your respective positions. Once again, you are welcome here on your very beloved platform, the Tribune of Awakening Consciousness. So this is the headline of international news. Russia is unstoppable. On the night of May 6th to 7th, 2025, Russia bombarded Ukraine once again like never before. Meaning truly bombarded, you can't even imagine. And it doesn't stop there. Russia announces very serious measures that sufficiently prove that in some way Joe Biden is right when he says that Russia is not ready to stop. Yes, because when it comes to the ceasefire, Russia no longer wants it. It doesn't want it at all anymore. Russia wants something lasting. And to achieve something lasting, one must refer to the real foundation of the conflict. What caused the conflict? This is the condition that Russia has been setting for a very long time. This means that even despite the negotiations that have tried to be set up, Russia has just been pretending while waiting to observe the negotiators to see if they will address the substantial issue, the real question that is at the very root of this Russo-Ukrainian conflict, or at least of the special military operation in Ukraine. So, this is what we are discussing in this video conference that I ask you to share as widely as possible. Please share in all possible groups. And so, the Russians continue. This time, it is the border region of Sumy that has been attacked. This region where the elites of the Ukrainian army and the brains, the special forces of the NATO army, have moved to enter the Kursk region. So, Sumy, which is the city from where the Kursk incursion started, Russia is not ready to tolerate Kursk, to tolerate Sumy. At one point, Russia had managed to encircle Sumy. A good part had been recovered, but I believe that NATO and Ukraine have made enough efforts to be able to reclaim Sumy again. Hence, the resumption of very surgical Russian strikes on the Sumy region. So, the images you see there are images from the Sumy region. Nothing is going well in Sumy anymore. And so, the Russians continue to strike the border region of Sumy, in the north of Ukraine, particularly with airborne bombs. This time it is airborne bombs that are being used. And so, following the strikes, many homes have been damaged, as you can see in the image. And now, collateral damage is minimized by Russia. They send them, regardless whether soldiers go to eternal rest or civilians are affected. It doesn't matter, as long as the objective is achieved. And I tell you once again that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine has reached another level. It is now another level. Yes. So, firefighters are on the champs, as you can see in the images, trying to calm, trying to extinguish the flames that have taken over everywhere. And so, it continues. And it's not just the city of Sumy. Every night, Russia drops bombs across the entire Ukrainian territory. Every night, without fail. Since the 1st of May, Russia has started to intensify like never before. We also have the Odessa region that has been attacked. Odessa has been attacked. And then, so, nothing is going well in Odessa. More specifically in the Odessa region. Several airborne bombs have been launched again. There have been several casualties, whether on the soldier side or the civilian side. I'm telling you now, there is no longer any distinction. Civilian infrastructures have been hit. Private homes, warehouses, ammunition depots have been hit. Artillery has been destroyed. There you have it. Vehicles have been damaged. Fires have broken out in the impact. zone. So, Russia has continued to strike, but seriously and severely. And as if all this were not enough, Russia is now not ready to go along with the logic of a ceasefire. Please share the video conference with me. Russia no longer wants to move towards a ceasefire. Even if Russia might accept a ceasefire, it would be temporary. But fundamentally, according to Russian diplomacy, the Russians do not want a pause, that's the word they use, a pause in the conflict. They want something lasting. And this lasting thing, they say, are the real causes that gave birth to the special military operation in Ukraine. And what is this real cause, or these real causes? The expansion of NATO territory, that is to say, the fact that Ukraine is seeking to join NATO, and also the non-respect of the rights of Russians who are on Ukrainian territory. But everything already stems from this issue of Ukraine's accession to NATO. If we check very carefully, when we try to establish a correlation between this long-standing demand of Russia, because this demand needs to be satisfied for Russia to withdraw, for Russia to agree to move towards peace, for Russia to agree to end the special military operation. As long as this is not yet done, Russia will not agree. So, when we draw a correlation between this statement and what Joe Biden said, it seems obvious that even if Joe Biden overuses it, Russia's objective is very clear. How can Russia accept that troops considered as enemy troops come and settle on its soil? Therefore, Ukraine must remain definitively, in a way, under Russian protectorate. Failing to become Russian, Ukraine must remain under Russia's command. So this is what Russia demands. But in the meantime, starting from May 8th, the preparations for the May 9th celebration are underway. Moscow is really bustling. Other presidents have announced their arrival in Moscow. But in the meantime, on the ground, as you see in the images or have seen them, Russia continues to relentlessly shell Ukraine. Donald Trump was right. At this rate, the entire Ukrainian country will return to Russia. There is no sacrifice if they do not stop. Dear ladies and gentlemen, that was the headline news. I will be back with you shortly with more news. This was the voice of your host, Robert Théa.